What up, Rafflators? Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to take some time to explain the title of the video that I published a couple of days ago, where I said this is the new Guyanastan. Right? At the end of that video I realized that I hadn't explained the title. See, I had this in mind to explain why Guyana has become Guyanastan, and I came to the end of the video and never addressed the topic. So let me very quickly, briefly give you 7 reasons why I'm referring to Guyana as Guyanastan. First is, we have a puppet president, right? If you've been following the election, you know by now that the new president was handpicked by the vice president. And so we have a situation just like Russia, where Mr. Putin chose Mr. Medvedev to be his, what was it, president, prime minister? President, and then he became prime minister for a while until he became president again. Well, we have exactly the same situation in Guyana. We have a puppet president who was handpicked by the vice president. And so if you look at the poster, I have a picture of a poster that was put up by the seawall, which shows 3 men. And I asked the question, which one is the president and who are the puppets? Number 2, Guyana is in the middle of a tug of war. So right now we are caught between the US and China, the US and Russia, the US and Venezuela, and this means that we're really not in control of our own destiny. We are being tugged by much more powerful countries in a geopolitical struggle that is not of our own making. We just happen to be now an oil-producing country, and the behemoths, the large economies, have now made us the target. Which brings us to point number 3. That is, our oil and our natural resources makes us the target for vultures, right? So we're gonna have aggressive attention from the likes of the United States, Britain, and China because of oil, and because they want to control this resource, right? Because oil is still power. Of course, it's all this argument about global warming and declining value and power of oil, but we know that as it stands today, oil is power, and that is why we are now the target for vultures. Number 4 is that Guyana has a problem with corruption. That is, corruption is commonplace in Guyana, and because corruption is commonplace, it brings with it a bunch of problems, including violence and crime, because if corruption is part of the government, then it's very difficult to convince the populace to be honest and to conduct business with integrity. So we have a problem with corruption, and that is going to inevitably produce crime. Number 5 is we do not have an independent judiciary. So the judiciary has lost its independence since, I think, early in the 90s, or I'd say early 2000s, when the PPP chose a political hack to become the Attorney General, and now they've replaced that position again with the same Attorney General. And this is not only a PPP problem, it was a problem with a coalition government where the Attorney General was not exactly independent. It's a political position, a political job, and so the judiciary has lost its independence. Corruption is commonplace, and this means we're much more like Afghanistan than we are, say, the United Kingdom. Number 6, the executive has been captured, and we are on our way to state capture. So what has happened in the past 23 years of the previous government is that they practiced a form of cronyism where government contracts were given to friends of the party, and this is actually a form of state capture. We're now in a position now, in a situation where the government has been captured by a private person, and now we're in a situation where all of our government contracts, the way our government operates, is going to be shuttled and funneled in the direction of the friends and family of the party. And this is a form of state capture. Number 7 is ethnic division has created a volatile tinderbox. In other words, Guyana is in a situation where it can explode at any point because the politicians have used race to divide the country and to create this division, this permanent division where we see each other as enemies. And number 8, actually I said number 7, but I'm going to give you 8. Number 8, the final reason is that ExxonMobil, the discovery of oil in Guyana, creates a situation where we can either become like Iraq and Afghanistan, Iraq and Iran, which is the target for, which puts us in a position where we can become a target for US intervention, right, invasion, because of the chaos that corruption and a lack of an independent judiciary and all these crimes that result. That can put us in a situation where the chaos that results makes us a target for US intervention. And we are now on the precipice of that kind of future. Either we can become like Iraq, or we can become like UAE, United Arab Emirates. We can become a rich independent country, or we can descend into chaos because of all of those aforementioned reasons. So we can become like Afghanistan, and for that reason I refer to Guyana as Guyanastan, right? So this is because somebody asked the question, why did I title that video The New Guyanastan? And this is an explanation to that video. It's because we're becoming a target for intervention which could make us a lot like Afghanistan in a very, very short period of time, unless we manage to pull back from the chaos and use reason, become reasonable in working out our future. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let them know what's happening in Guyana. Later!